Rolling.
Do you think of doubt as a negative or a positive thing?
It could be, I feel like it would be a negative.
I feel doubt is mostly negative right now. I know it can be used for good, and I know there's a good outcome on the end of it, but definitely in the middle of doubt, I think it's negative.
Honestly, it could be both. Now in my life, it's a negative thing.
I think it's negative, but it always seems to, once you find out after you're doubting, it seems to pull you back into your faith. So it ends up being a positive thing.
Have you ever doubted if God exists?
Yes. It's kind of hard to explain. I've never thought completely he wasn't real, and I know he's real. But sometimes I get in my head and I'm like, that's a crazy thought. And then I start thinking, okay, then who created God? All these questions that I don't have the answers to because my brain is so small compared to God's plan.
I'm the exact same way. There's like a couple times where I'm just like, okay, who created God? And I'm like, well, God has to be real. Who created this? How did this come up? Let's go back to the beginning of time. Who made this? Like, something had to happen.
Yeah.
I think some things can seem so unreal that it's hard to think that even though it seems unreal, it is real.
Yeah, I always like to know the answers to everything, but with God, you can't know the answers to everything. So it's really hard, like you said, to like wrap your head around it. I haven't really had too many doubts that God isn't real. But sometimes, you start to think a little harder, just because I think as teenagers, we always start to doubt things, and sometimes we start thinking that we know everything.
What are some questions you can't wait to ask God when you get to heaven?
There's so many things that seem unfair and that don't seem right, or that something that doesn't seem like God would put up with that happens in this world. And I know down in my heart that God has it through all, but there's some things that I'm just like, why?
That's the same with me. My grandma passed away a couple months ago, and she's been in pain for the past couple years, like really bad. I know that there's like a plan, like there was a plan for him, like for it and why he did it, but I just don't know why yet.
So when you have doubts, what do you do with them?
Pray about them for one, but also talking about them with someone else. That kind of, usually when you talk to someone, the other person's perspective or just having them listen, it kind of makes you think through it yourself.
I think first I try to think where it came from. Did it come from my own mind? Did it come from social media? Did it come from a friend? How that doubt came to be, and then figure out if it's a healthy doubt to have, and to realize that I don't have the answer and I might not ever have the answer, or if I'm just overthinking it and that's a doubt I can get past.
Whenever I doubt something, either I'll express it to someone, or I'll stay up till about 5 a.m. thinking about it until I've come up with a conclusion.
Yeah, I tend to not sleep when I'm in doubt. I'll just be like, let me just think about it. I'll figure out the answer at some point. When I'm doubting myself or when I'm in some sort of crisis, I feel like I don't want to lay that on someone else.
For real?
Yeah. When I doubt myself, I tend to just give up. Like, if I doubt myself in like a skill set or something, then I'll just give up completely.
Why do we try to hide our doubts? Why do we feel so much shame when it comes to doubt?
Our perspective is doubts are negative. They always make you give up or take you to the wrong place, but I don't think that's always true.
Yeah, I think it shows weakness, and people, especially in our generation, don't like showing weakness.
Yeah.
And I think that people are afraid that other people are going to think that because they have doubts, it's going to make them look like wimp, I guess.
Yeah.
And as Christians, I feel like there's like a stereotype to where if you doubt, then you're not believing in God. And that's not it at all.
Society has always painted this picture, especially like now in our social media era, to always be perfect, to look a certain way, act a certain way, feel a certain way, have, a certain perspective, because, your perspective is right or wrong. So we always doubt, am I doing what's right? Am I doing what's wrong? Am I supposed to look this way? Am I supposed to look that way? So it's just this game, within our society, and it sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. what is one thing you hope the people watching this video will take away from this conversation?
And that doubts are okay.
Yeah, welcome
they should be normalized because everybody doubts.
Yeah.
You don't be shy about your doubts because someone else probably has the same thing with you.
Yeah.
I think being super open about them, because my doubt might be exactly like your doubt, but you would never open up about it unless I did, and then we could like share that and have that in common.
I think if also we share our doubts with each other, they might be able to help us boost our confidence or push us to work harder to get through those doubts. So it's easier to get through them if you start talking to other people about them.
One thing that my therapist told me is so true. She said whenever you're having doubts or whenever something is upsetting to you or anything like that, acknowledge what you're feeling, welcome it, and then let it go.
Has this conversation changed the way you view the subject? I just think it's comforting knowing that everyone has doubts.
Yeah.
Even the most confident person you know still has probably just as much doubt as you have.
People strike me as a very confident person just because I'm very outgoing. I'm not really afraid to do things. But man, I doubt myself a lot, like a lot. And no one ever gets that. Like I've had people come up to me and be like, "How do you do this?" I'm like, YOLO.
I think like how you said, Emily, just realizing that other people experience doubts and normalizing those makes you feel a little bit better about having them.
You might think you're alone in some of your feelings and stuff that you have, but in reality, not everyone, but you're not alone in what you think and your feelings. There's always someone out there that is feeling the same way as you are.